Hi collective, welcome back to my channel. We are about relationship with self first, okay? Because we're learning to manage our emotions, all right? So we can have good, healthy relationships outside of ourselves. How? Because we're identifying our intuition for good spiritual health, good spiritual wealth, because it comes from the essence of love, all right? Loving self, loving others, loving beings, loving planet, loving God, all right? But we're looking for balancing within ourselves, to have a balanced world outside of ourselves, but it comes from going deep within oneself, deep dive within you and seek your own creativity, all right? So you can create heaven on earth within you for heaven on earth outside of you, all right? So maybe you're in the energy, okay, of looking in your values, your feelings, all right? Because now you look at your self-worth. Maybe you feel left out in the cold. You could be a Taurus person, because now you feel like maybe you're left out in the cold when it comes to social prestige, or you're looking at your social background or your cultural background, because now we're looking at poverty or a lack of hunger, all right? Because some of you could be in the energy of saying, I have bankruptcy, I have health concerns, because now I feel like people are rejecting my help or rejecting help from me, because now looking at a struggle, financial hardship or unemployment. Now looking at a difficulty, okay? Maybe for a Sagittarius person, maybe they've gone to a Sagittarius person, all right? For that self-control, to bring in that balance of finance, because someone's looking at bankruptcy. So now looking at moderation, okay? Look for the energy of the angel in you, all right? Because we do have earth angels, because now you're going to bring harmony. Someone trying to bring harmony, okay, towards a Sagittarius person, because they're looking at financial hardship. Now we're looking at unification. We're looking at relationships. We're looking at the house value 2, all right? Now we're looking at our values and our feelings, all right? Because now we're looking at someone's self-worth. Because somebody's looking for happiness with a Sagittarius person, because they felt very left out in the cold. They're looking at bankruptcy, okay? Because maybe they got rejected by another Sagittarius person. So now we're looking at the struggle. We're looking at financial hardship, okay? Because somebody was looking at unemployment, but someone's looking at Sagittarius for self-control, for balance, for moderation, for their happiness, all right? Because somebody can't look after themselves. Now we're looking at the glory of the soul when it comes to the soul connection, or when it comes to earth angels. Somebody wants to block an earth angel, and that will make them very happy, all right? Because now we're looking at someone, a Scorpio, within dig deep within you and do that desire, okay? Because now someone's looking at sadness, all right? Somebody wanted sadness for a Leo person, all right, not to take action. So now we're looking at loss, we're looking at grief, we're looking at despair, because someone's in the energy, okay, of feeling abandoned, all right? When it comes to the Taurus, when it comes to I have poverty problems, I have bankruptcy, all right? So now someone feels abandoned, they feel remorse, all right? Because now we're looking at trauma, heartbreak. Someone's in regret about a disappointment with maybe a Leo person. So they've gone to a Sagittarius person for self-control, balance, because now someone's looking at poverty, lack of hunger. Now we're looking at bankruptcy, all right? Someone trying to save themselves. Okay, this is not about emotions. There's no emotion there. It's all about third-party energy, okay? So now someone feels as if they got to dig within themselves, because a Taurus Libra person, upside down Empress, okay, is only going to come in and give you broken promises, heartbreak, and draining your energy. Because someone is dependent, has that dependent energy, very lazy. Could be a Taurus Libra person, because now we're looking at stagnation. Someone's very smothering when it comes to someone's emotions, okay? Because now we're looking at despair, maybe a Scorpio person over a Taurus, Virgo or Libra person. So now we're looking at the energy of Venus, all right? This is how someone shows their love, by using people for financial gain. Because now we're looking at blocking maybe a Taurus person, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius person. Because now they were looking at someone's good news, maybe a Taurus person, because they wanted good news, all right, to bring that self-control, okay? Because they were looking at bankruptcy. So now we're looking at someone spoiling someone's happiness, because really they wanted to bring in sadness. That was the clue, and that was the game. So now we look at the game to fame, because someone's looking at dependence, lazy, stagnation, smothering person, because somebody's looking at an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius person for good news, for sparkling ideas and energy. Why? Because they're going to be rejected in the future when it comes to work, when it comes to health, because somebody's struggling with their financial. Someone's looking at hardship, at the ship when they're trying to sail in with other people. So now we're looking at self-control. Someone's very energetic, okay, to look at a Sagittarius person. Why? Because looking at their creativity to give them the confidence, all right? Because maybe this is a new beginning, all right, a new relationship with a Sagittarius person and a Taurus person. So now we're looking at new beginnings, new news, intuitive. Maybe a Sagittarius person is passionate about their creativity, a masculine. So that is his drive for inspiration. He probably got those potentials. So now we're looking at someone's confidence, someone's optimism, because now we're taking action, we're setting goals, all right. Someone's looking at someone's happiness, okay, and someone's looking at sadness, loss, grief, despair, because someone is with an upside down Empress. Someone's very dependent, very lazy, and looking at stagnation, because someone's very smothering, they can't look after themselves. We could be talking about Queen of Pentacles, all right. Queen of Pentacles are trying to act like she's very mature, grounded, feminine. She's looking at a new beginning, maybe with a Sagittarius person, because he's very intuitive, passionate, okay. Maybe it's a little sparking idea, looking at the drive, the inspiration for this person to look very mature, very grounded, with their feminine energy, very generous. Okay, so someone's looking at social high status climbing, maybe a businesswoman looking at prosperity, business, looking at success within their business, homemaker, kind, nurturing, healer. But unfortunately, there's going to be sadness, because when the emotion of this person don't have any emotions, all right? They're going through trauma, okay? Because they're looking at a heartbreak, because they wanted a heartbreak for a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini person. But this Queen of Pentacles, she lacks ideas. She's very indecisive. She's a very faulty, logical person, will bring a miscommunication, all right, and confusion. This upside down Empress, okay. So now we're looking at creative block, failure, insult. So this is why they're starting a new beginning, maybe with a Sagittarius person or a Leo person. So now we're looking at this Queen of Pentacles, looking at poverty, lack of hunger, bankruptcy, because now they're looking at health concern when it comes to the mental, all right. This mental person, okay, they have a lack of ideas, all right, because they don't have any emotions, all right, towards the soul. Okay, so now we're looking at a faulty logical person that likes to bring miscommunication, confusion, injustice, because they're very frustrated when it comes to Aquarius, Libra, Gemini person. I have unity within myself because I think I can bring my own happiness. No, this person can't. They're very happy and they love the support when it comes to people, allowing them to be very dependent, very lazy, stagnation. This is a very entitled person. So they're very smothering. They're very stubborn because they're very insecure, okay? Very insecure, maybe when it comes to a Pisces person or Scorpio person. So now I'm looking at the creativity. Someone has a desire, all right? Because now they're looking at dreamer. No, very creative block. This person is very neglectful, okay? So now we're looking at happiness. All right, we're looking at happy ever after, looking at unions, looking at homecoming, looking at stability. Okay, someone was very dependent on the happy ever after, but it's all strategic. All right, because this person has no plans, so they're targeting a Sagittarius person very speedily, very harshly. Okay, they're looking at the progress, they're rushing forward. They want this rush forward movement. They're looking at exciting times. They want action. Okay, because they feel like this hard work will pay off if they travel. Okay, with a Leo Sagittarius person in a new beginning, new job, new news. All right, now we're looking at someone very intuitive, maybe someone's very passionate about their creativity, they're very inspired, or their inspiration to others. So now we're looking at the potential, the confidence, optimism. Now we're taking action. Someone's trying to make goals, okay, but these goals are trying to escape, all right, from facing their own fears. All right, this person may be a Gemini or Sagittarius person, needs to let go of this Queen of Pentacles. Okay, they need to seek their own freedom, take control. Okay, but this person is hopeless. Create your own hopeful empowerment. Okay, because now you're looking at your own mental strength and you're finding solutions and believe. This is what this Queen of Pentacles is looking for. So now we see a situation, okay, when they're targeting maybe a Aquarius person because they've done deception. This Queen of Pentacles is looking at deception, all right, because they're a slanderer. Then we're looking at violence, all right. They're looking for humiliation, aggression. This person is bullying, all right. They're trying to walk away with it because they thought they can intimidate an Aquarius person because now they lack communication. Now this Virgo person, okay, lacks work, okay, when it comes to ideas. They can't create their own idea. They come with indecisions. Why? Because they lack their own confidence. Very shady workmanship person. They're coming up with bad reputation, all right, when it comes to their work. So now we're looking at a lack of commitment, lazy, workaholic, failure person, because now they're looking at an Aquarius person. When it comes to their happiness, they wanted them to miss an opportunity. They wanted this person to be out of control, left behind, because they wanted to make this people, a group of people, family, friends, all right, to make this person feel like they were out of control, leave them behind. They're tactless, sarcastic, rude, insincere, aggressive, self-observed bully. And this is the thoughts of a Queen of Pentacles. She will be missing out opportunities, all right? She's a very out of control. She will be left behind. She's very tactless. She will, over time, she will not be getting any support over time, all right, especially from God. Because now we're looking at her seeking a Sagittarius person because she doesn't want to face her fears. She's trying to escape, release. She wants freedom. But I think Aries, Leo, Sagittarius person is already thinking of running away. You already see the deception. Okay, so now we're looking at sarcastic, rude, bully, and Miss Queen of Pentacles in the middle of the deck. So now we're looking at someone's ego, my lovely, because somebody's looking at happiness, all right, maybe for a Leo person, but no, someone's coming out with blunt talking, swift, impulsive actions from a Taurus person because they want a lifestyle change, because they're looking at poverty, lack of hunger, looking at bankruptcy, okay? So they're looking for a change, they're defending their beliefs, all right, because now they've run over to a Sagittarius person, all right? Maybe Sagittarius person, self-control, balance, moderation, there has harmony around their energy, but this person will come in with false pride, or the Sagittarius has false pride, but the thoughts within these people, maybe this Queen of Pentacles, is to bully. They want to win at any cost, being very sneaky. This person is thieving, gloating, and plotting against the Sagittarius person, which is a new beginning, all right, because they see good news from this person, okay? They're looking at the passion from this person, looking at the will from this person, the drive from this person. They feel inspired by this person. They're looking at the potential of this person, especially when it comes to confidence, optimism, action, and setting goals. So now this person is thieving, plotting, and looking at swiftly changing, all right, their impulsive actions towards a Sagittarius person, someone that's changing their lifestyles, because now we're looking at Queen of Pentacles, all right, we're looking at the lack of their true joy when it comes to their feelings. They don't have no feelings. This one is smuggy, materialistic whore. We're looking at a dissatisfied, greedy person, all right? So now looking at maybe a Scorpio, Cancer person, or the feelings of this person, or a masculine. We're looking at the sadness, all right? We're looking at the loss, we're looking at the grief. He's looking at despair of the pair, because maybe he feels guilty, abandoned, and remorse, all right? Now we're looking at trauma. The Sagittarius person will leave with trauma, heartbreak, and disappointment. He needs to walk away. He's in a disillusional. He needs to withdraw, abandon, retreat, move on, all right? Maybe from Aquarius, Libra, Gemini person, or a Virgo person, or a Taurus, Libra person, all right? This person needs to walk away, abandon, retreat, move on, okay? Because this person lacks ideas, indecision, and this person is looking for leaving behind, moving on, trying to do transition, relocate for a brighter day ahead. So they're targeting good news, letters, phone calls, fun, cheerful times, optimistic, energetic ideas from a creative person that may be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius person. They're looking at the confidence. This is probably a new situation. So now they're looking at the confidence, the intellect. They're looking at this new beginning. Okay, look at the good news. All right. So now we're looking at the situation. Okay, where a Taurus person is looking for a swift lifestyle change, defending their beliefs. All right, because now they're looking at a situation where they're lying to a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius person, okay, because they see the optimistic, the lying on the phone calls, the lying about optimism, the lying about Aquarius person. This person is very deceptive, trickery. They're looking at betrayal, all right? They're looking back at a Leo, Sagittarius person, and they're looking for deception. They're going to be thieving from this masculine, all right? They're going to be very dishonest and trying to run away with it. So this new love, all right, that they're looking at, maybe Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but maybe Sagittarius, all right, or maybe Gemini person, they're looking at failure. They will collapse this person. They will backstab this person over and over again. They're looking for a painful ending because this person has false pride. They're looking at bullying. They want to win at any cost. This person is very sneaky, thieving, gloating, and plotting. All right, especially against guardian angels. All right, so they're looking at someone's relationship. Someone likes to bring relationship. This is a financial person that likes to bring in disasters. Okay, a collapse. This person is backstabbing over and over again people that they work with. So this person. Why? Because they have a lack of true joy within their own self. This person is very materialistic, very dissatisfied. This person is a very greedy person. This Queen of Pentacles, all right, that's overly ambitious, underground social climber, very jealous, obsessive person, a very disloyal sociopath, and a psychopath, all right? Now we're looking at a wicked, bad mother that's looking for victory, success, maybe with a Leo person, for public rewards, good news, and leadership. They want triumph. But this person is looking at a Libra Aquarius person because this person lacks ideas, indecisions, faulty. This person lacks miscommunications, confusions, injustice, frustration because it helps her. So we're looking at a creative block. All right, well, this person is a failure. Now we're looking at a situation where you've got to choose happiness, air sign person, or this Virgo, no, not Virgo, Leo or Sagittarius person, you've got to choose happiness. You've got to have self-awareness. You've got to have clarity. This person will bring you depression. You've got to walk away. This person is a disillusioned person. You've got to withdraw, abandon, retreat, move on. Leave this person alone. Okay? So now we're looking at Pisces, looking at the dreams, looking at our feelings, looking at how we care for ourselves when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, happy ever after, reunions, homecoming, stability. We understand that this person doesn't have no security within themselves. All right, they look for other people for their security because this person is discouraged. They're going through disgrace. Okay, they're very insecure. They're looking for the star energy. Okay, they want an Aquarius to be ignored, but no. Queen of Pentacles going for disappointment because she's a very arrogant and depressive person. She's looking for fame, but you've got to leave it behind. Transition, relocate, because someone's moving. All right, because they understand maybe they want a victory away from this Queen of Pentacles. They think she's a disgrace, insecure, and they want to ignore. All right, because now we're looking at, they're targeting a Sagittarius person very fast. They're looking at progress, speed, looking at movement, because they're looking at the patience of this masculine's ambition. So now they want to plant a new foundation. They've got the desire and they've got the craving for a new adventure and hardship with a Sagittarius person. But no, they're going through an escape. They're trying to escape fear. All right, no, this masculine needs to release. They want to survive because now this person will be overwhelmed by the soul. Okay, he will over time, because he's going to be backstabbed by this Queen of Pentacles, over time he will lack his own confidence. He will give up on his own inspiration. You've got to retreat from this person or confront this person. Okay, maybe a Leo wants to confront a Gemini person, because now we're looking at deception. All right, Queen of Pentacles looking at a victory and success when it comes to deception. Okay, they're looking at violence, humiliation, looking at aggression when it comes to maybe an Aries person or Gemini person planting their foundation for a new beginning. Looking at adventurous beginning, because now we're looking at aggression. We're looking at a bully that's trying to walk away, but they're looking at a Leo or Sagittarius person, but this person will stab this person behind the back. This could be a new friendship, new love, or someone that's self-sabotaging. She's reckless, unprepared, taken advantage of. That's all she does, is take advantage of people that have victory, success, and public recognition. So now we're looking at a Virgo person. Your work is boring. Okay, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Your work is crap. Okay, so now we're looking at someone's trying to make a breakthrough with a new beginning, with ideas maybe from a Virgo person at work. But no, clarity is sharp. Someone's choosing happiness because someone's going to be missing out opportunity because they're out of control. A Queen of Pentacles, out of control. People need to leave this person behind because they're tactless, sarcastic, rude, insincere, aggressive, self-absorbed, bully. An earth sign person is this group. They're going to be lacking teamwork in the future, disorganized group. They bring conflict, and maybe somebody needs to work alone. Because now we have clarity. Okay, now this person is a poor choice. They've gone to a Sagittarius person for a new love. Now we're looking at disarray. We're looking at distraction. We're looking at someone that likes to bring confusions and lack of purpose. All right, so this person is not just seeing a Sagittarius person. They're quite seeing quite a few masculines, actually. A water sign masculine, a Gemini masculine. They're seeing a Sagittarius masculine, a Leo masculine. And it goes on. All right, my lovely. Go within yourself and you see the truth for yourself. All right, my love. I love you guys. Remember, walk in love, talk in truth. Bye.